Hi, book lovers. My name is MJ Evans, and I am coming to you today from Foxfield, Colorado, where I am sheltered from the big March blizzard. But that's okay because blizzards are a great day to sit in front of the fire and read a wonderful book. Today I want to share with you my multiple award-winning historical fiction book titled Pinto, based upon the true story of the longest horseback ride in history. This book has won 11 international and national literary awards, and I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. We're born to the saddle. We have the nags and gear. Let's ride to every state capital in the Union. Let's get ourselves a reputation. Let's make the longest horseback ride on record. George W. Beck. That's a quote from the ringleader of the Overland Westerners, 4 men who decided to become rich and famous by riding to every state capital in the Union from 1912 to 1915. I'm going to start reading the book now from Pinto. I am a little horse with big dreams. I was living on Bainbridge Island in Puget Sound in the state of Washington. If I had stayed there, those dreams would never have come true. But then came the day George Beck purchased me, a man who also had big dreams. That was in the year 1912. Together with 3 other men on horseback and a flea-bitten dog named Nip, we completed a 20,000-mile journey over the span of 3 years. Of the 17 horses who joined us for a time on the trip, only 1 horse made it the whole way, me. Chapter 1, Meeting George Beck. Spring was coming. That is to say, the rain felt warmer. Such was the only thing I was happy about. I found myself living in a poorly fenced paddock set far back from the road and partly concealed behind several of the thousands of giant Douglas fir trees that covered the Pacific Northwest where I was born. The mud-soaked corral in which I spent most of my time of late caused the frogs in the soles of my hooves to itch with thirst. I hadn't been in this paddock on Bainbridge Island with the 5 other horses for many days. The man who owned all of the horses was not attached to us, nor we to him. As a horse trader, his only intent was selling us and making a quick profit. Oh, he was kind enough, as kind as that type of man is. Not a horseman, you see. Just a businessman. Buy a horse, sell it quickly, not caring what kind of home the horse went to. But as I say, he was a decent man, as men go, always giving us plenty of fresh hay and an occasional scoop of oats. The other horses in the paddock with me were much older than I. They spent each day sharing stories about their lives and how they came to be in this place. I hadn't done much of anything yet, so I just listened. Oh, I had my dreams, as every young horse does, but I kept those to myself for fear they would think me silly and laugh at me. One old sway-backed mare, who enjoyed standing beside me, told me about the day she was in a parade. It was the proudest moment of my life, she said. The little boy who owned me dressed me up with ribbons and leg wraps. My saddle and bridle were polished until they shone nearly as much as I did. We pranced down the streets of the town as music played from a brass band. People cheered as we went by. It was also very grand. I have had a very hard life, said a large black gelding. I have spent most of my life hitched to a thick harness, pulling logs out of the forest. I glanced down at his shoulders and noticed the scars left there from years of throwing all his strength against a thick leather collar. I felt sorry for him and hoped that was not my future. One small pony sidled up to me. I have spent my whole life teaching children how to ride. I was kind and patient with all of them. Never once did I buck any of them off. Then why are you here? I asked. The children grew up and went away. Now I can only hope that another nice family with little children takes me home with them. All these stories made me wonder what was in store for me. I realized I'm not an ordinary quarter horse or draft horse. I am a Morab. That means I am half Morgan and half Arabian. I have seen my reflection in the spring-fed water trough, and I am quite aware of how spectacular I am. I'm not tall, only 15 hands, but sturdy as a boulder and well-proportioned. I have a thick, elegant arched neck. My croup, the top of my hips, is well-rounded and my hindquarters are well-muscled. But my most outstanding feature is my coloring. I am a beautiful black and white Pinto with large patches of both colors all over my body. And the dream I held in my heart was that someday I would accomplish something great, maybe even become famous. So if you'd like a wonderful book to read, told in the point of view of the horse, get Pinto by M.J. Evans.